Yolantru, and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy, and welcome to another part of our little A to Z officer video series. Before I talk about Kuron, though, I just want to say, if you haven't seen that yet, after publishing a video as soon as I can, I pin a comment under the videos, and there you find information about subscribing, commenting, about joining the Discord server I set up for this channel, and there's also a way how you can support my work here on this channel. But now let's have a look at Kuron. He's a rare officer. He's from class command, which means you need command badges to upgrade him. He's from the group Blood and Honor, which means he can get synergy from other members of that group if he's captain and they are on the bridge with him, or he can give synergy to another captain from that group. And he's from the faction Klingon Empire, which means you need Klingon faction credits to upgrade him. If you want to know something about him, it's not that long, but as usual there's an info text about this officer in the info box. As you already could hear from what I said about the synergies, he does have a captain maneuver and an officer ability. The captain maneuver is no negotiations, and that means Kuron has a 50% chance to automatically recharge all kinetic weapons on the first turn. That is a nice one, which because you can fire more, and that might be helpful to finish fights more quickly. And the officer ability is Merciless Pursue. That is, after destroying a ship, Kuron increases the impulse speed by 35% until the ship's next battle or its return to the station. So he's another one, for example, that could be quite useful in waves. If you can afford, because of the strength that you need to destroy some hostiles there. For example, if you have Enterprise E. Riker as captain and put him on the bridge with Riker, then the ship would even be faster after the first kill. But then in waves you have to shoot hostiles over and over and over. And so you will always, after the first hostile, will have a 35% bonus on your impulse speed. So it would get even faster than with Riker alone. Unless you need the other officers on the bridge you have already for the strength of your crew to survive the waves. But if you can do it, he would be certainly someone you could use for speed and to even give it more speed than Riker does. And my Riker crew is quite nice, and I really like that, because with the two ships in the wave, and then an explorer is faster than an interceptor of the same level, and so it's sometimes fun. But as a rare officer, he of course also has two possible traits for away teams, and that's warrior and charismatic. I usually use Kuron from time to time on away teams. I don't necessarily need him on the bridge of any ship. So that's the point when you have almost all officers that are there, that some officers like Kuron, who can be very useful if you have him earlier, especially if you are using ships that have kinetic weapons. Of course, he doesn't make sense as a captain on any ship that doesn't have kinetic weapons. So it's usually Klingon ships that have a lot of kinetic weapons in the earlier stages, and so you really have to have a look on the ship's weapons. What do they have? Does Kuron make sense? And if you want to look through the ships, I have the firing pattern charts on my Discord, and there you can have a look through the weapons of all the ships as well, because I put on it if it's energy weapons or kinetic weapons. But of course, you will want to know how to get Kuron, and for this we fortunately at least can go to the normal recruit part. A lot of other officers nowadays have to be in refinery, in faction stores, but with Kuron we can have a look here in the normal recruiting, which is a bit longer at the moment. because of Crucible at War that's running. But when we go to the Ultra Recruit section and scroll down a bit, yeah, the game is a bit laggy at the moment. Then we get to Kuron, and he's there. You see that I didn't have much luck because the Ultra Recruit section is a bit tough because there's loads of officers in there, and you see there are some officers where I have many more shards than from Kuron, because it's the usual game of fortune here with the different officers, how many you can get, how many shards you can get for what officer, and that's very different, as you can see. If you look at others like Moreau here, for example, and then compare it to Kuron, it's or Decius and Kuron, and Avex is in a different part as well, so I don't count her. But I wasn't very lucky with Kuron, but maybe you are much luckier, and if you have a ship with a lot of kinetic weapons early in the game, then he might be a nice captain for you as well. And there we are, the usual problem again. People are always asking, what can I use? Which officers can I use? Especially questions from people on the first stages of the game. And I mentioned it before in one of my videos, but it still comes up as a lot of times, so I want to talk about this again. We cannot tell you. What I can do, and what others on the Discord, as I have seen, and in the comments of the videos can do, is tell you the best crews that are there for certain tasks. And I did a lot of crew videos already, and I can tell you what are the best crews for this. And I can give you a hint for alternatives in that because of the abilities you need. But nobody will be able to answer you if you ask what can I use on level 24 for this and that. Because nobody knows what officers you have. And on the other hand, there are sometimes questions, what officers can I use because I'm stuck here at a certain point. There is a limit what officers can do. Officers can help you a lot. If you have the best officers, they can bring you quite far, but still the level of your ship and the power of your ship still puts in a break at some point. There are points in this game where you can't get any further without getting to the next stage of ships. And so officers are a really good thing. They are very helpful, and especially the right combinations can sometimes do miracles, like with the mission boss crews I was using when I was on level 53. I did all the mission boss fights that were there until level 60 because of using the right crews. But if you don't have those crews, you will not be able to do that. And there is no alternative then. And that's the problem. You will need to have patience, because that's something else I regularly see. And my other t-shirt, the gray one I wear sometimes, says it's a marathon, not a sprint. This game is a marathon and not a sprint, unless you have a credit card with a lot of money on it. So you will need to find patience. That is something you always need. I have to build loads of things at the moment, between 55 and 56, the ops levels. That's the only reason, by the way, why I went so quickly to level 55 after reaching level 53, because I know there is so much to build again between 55 and 56, and 56 is another important step, talking about ships, if you want them. That is good to be on 55, but I didn't rush in and build whatever I can. I am on 55, I know what I have to do, the tons of buildings I have to build now between 55 and 56, and I will stay on 55 for quite some time because I need to build so much. But I'm still building nothing of that at the moment. Talking about patience. if you look on my main screen, if it ever shows up again, you see that I'm building nothing at the moment. Because the patience I'm always talking about also means there will be more material events, most probably in this game, when the next arc starts. And I'm saving my materials for that. Yes, I could build several buildings now of the loads I have to do before I ever will go to level 56. But I'm waiting until the right event comes. Even with that, I didn't get Mbanga in this arc, and I will have to wait until he shows up in other events in the future. But I almost got him by being patient. But that's why there will be new officers, and there will most probably, there's never a guarantee with Scopely, but most probably be another material event very soon after the start of the new arc. And then I will do the buildings I can do. It's always limited also by my par steel and the tritanium for the ship upgrades and so on. But the patience is what you really need. And sometimes you just have to not to do things, to do this then at the right time. And in between, you need patience. You cannot grow the whole time steadily or even exponentially. There will be times where you have to do your job, and that's the grinding for your dailies, etc. And let everything else be at the moment. Nevertheless, I got quite astray from Kuron, but there were some things I think were necessary to talk about as well. And you know that I go astray from time to time. But if you want to say something about Kuron, how you are using him and how much you like him or not like him, please write it in the comments. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.